All right, so it is now the Saturday of the long weekend for Memorial Day. You can hear my dogs barking in there at me because they don't know what I'm doing. Today we're going to work on the Mustang some more. I haven't got the Torino out yet, so as you can see, right there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to work out in the driveway, and I plan on moving the Torino out of here tomorrow and moving the Mustang in here. So today my plan is to get as much of the radiator support out and all that good stuff. So stick around. Oh, and by the way, you like my t-shirt? My daughter designed it. I have it up on Teesprings. I got the link in the description. You can buy one if you like. She tried to match the color of the car as well as she could. Let me know what you think. Thank you. Today the plan is to get all this goodness off of here, so tomorrow when I move it into the garage I'll be able to go full bore on it. I'll get this off today, and then I'm gonna attempt to power wash it if I have time when I get done. So that's where we're at. I think I may not have recorded that, but as you can see, I took the horns, the condenser, and the hood latch off. Now I am looking at this. Need to get the headlight and horn harness out of here, and the ground that's over here, so I need to get that off, and then I'll pull these condenser lines back in and we'll go from there. But we're doing all right. Trying to get all this headlight harness out of here, push it back through the radiator support, putting tension on the back side and then pushing it through with the screwdriver on this side. So I do intend to replace the wiring, but not for a while yet, and I still need to move it around, so we're just kind of trying to save as much as we can of this particular thing. There we go. There we go. All right, so I took the lines off all the way here, but I have to take the voltage regulator off and the grounds, and I'm videotaping it so I remember. And then there's a ground right over there, so got two grounds in the regulator to take off, and then I can start I'll go get a grinder so I can start looking for spot welds. But yeah, you can see that this thing's been kapowed, so definitely coming out. I think that bottom crossbar is pretty good, so I'm gonna have to check that out. But let me pause this and get those grounds off. All right, so I got the other ground off. Now I'm gonna take this regulator off in the ground that goes with it. So well, I got the voltage regulator off, so I'm gonna put this other screw back in and move on to the next thing. Yeah, and I'm not gonna throw these out. I'm gonna just set them on the side here so I know where everything's at, so when it comes time to put it back together. And this I'm gonna put inside the car so I don't forget where I put it. So there we go. I'm gonna repeat what I just said. I've got the wiring harness out of the way. I got everything else off this. I'm gonna have to remove the battery so I can get to it. I'm gonna clean this off, and since this is where it welds together, I'm gonna drill through the side that's not staying. The side that's going is the side I'm gonna look for the spot welds on. So I'll be grinding in here. That way the metal that I'm gonna be welding to, I hopefully won't weld all the way through it. So, I mean, drill all the way through when I'm taking the spot welds out. So, and it's looking like I will probably leave this front cross member in because it seems to be in excellent shape. I'm going to clean it all up, of course, and we'll go from there. So I'm gonna pause everything and strategize and go get my drill. I got my cord already here and my seat, and we'll go from there. So, well, I decided before I go any further with taking that radiator support off, I'm going to open the box with the new one just so I can see what I actually have to replace. So I think this is the right box. I showed you the boxes in the last video, so I'm going to guess that this is the right one. And if I'm not, this is, oh, it's a box within a box. It says replacement parts. Yep, this is the radiator support. I guessed right. So look at this. I got a box. Unit box. Now I gotta get. And again, I got all this from National Parts Depot. It came quickly. I saw some stuff online where CJ Pony Parts was taking forever and giving bad customer service, so I went to National Parts Depot, and again, this isn't sponsored, I paid for all this stuff, but it got here like in 3 days, so, you know, can't beat that with a stick. I guess you could, but anyways, I digress. Ooh. That is mighty nice. So it's got the whole cross member in it. Look at that. Look at that. I see one thing that's a little bit off. I didn't cut it so that you can see this. So I take it out and look at the distance from one end where it's spot welded. You get down to this end and it's not straight. It goes from a 1/2 inch to no inch, or hanging over the edge. So well, that sucks. So now I'm glad I looked, so I can decide whether I want to replace the cross member altogether or drill these spot welds out, take it out of the other car, and just leave the cross member in. So I'll have to think about that, but at least I can start digesting that while I'm looking at it. But I'm glad I looked at it. But I mean, it came totally undamaged. It looks great. That's some kind of quality control issue right there. And I know it came from Taiwan. They probably got the Wuhan flu and all that other shit going on, but Jesus, you'd think it being a jig or something. So anyways, there you go. So there's the original, and look, it's exactly equal all the way across. The other thing I noticed, I'm gonna have to take the battery tray out and get a new one, but well, shit, shiver me timbers and all that. That's just a little crazy, but anyways, we'll get her taken care of. All right, now my next move here is, you'll see in the time lapse, but I've got quite the setup. I'm trying to keep the sun off the camera and still be able to shoot video. So it's gonna look a little redneck, but it's like a tripod awning kind of thing for the camera, because heat and electronic equipment does not mix very well, or it mixes, but it just overheats and shuts off. So that's what we're gonna do. So, and also, before you see me start grinding, notice I do have eye protection on with side shields, and we'll see what happens. So there you go. All right, so I got a flap wheel on here, on my Ryobi grinder. Let's start over here. What I'm doing is just taking the paint off so I can see where the spot welds are. drilled out, get the top part off, and then I'll have easier access to the bottom along the cross member. So I'm going to pause it. Alright, the next section we're going to do involves a drill, the spot welds, gold chisel, and a little bit of a sledgehammer. I don't need that big, but what I could grab easily, so that's what I took. So I probably am just going to record this with the time lapse, because this is just tedious work. So, and save the battery in here. But anyways, that's what's going on. So here comes some time lapse with some hopefully cool music. All right, as you see, I have taken this side off. I got to get the rest of them down there a little bit better, and then I'll switch over to the other side. But yeah, you drill them out. I'm gonna have to clean this up, of course, but you know, you just drill out the spot welds, and as you can see, there's nothing else that attaches them, just the spot welds. So you know, I didn't do too bad considering it's 50, 52, 54 years old. So we're getting there, and it's sort of mangled, but at least we're getting it. There you go. All right, so I got all this side. I got a couple more down there to do. I think there's 3 more that I got to get right there. This side was a little bit of a bitch, but we got her all the way done. So once I get that done, I'll probably cut across the bottom so I have easier access to these spot welds on the inside and on the bottom rail, because I think I'm going to leave the cross member in since it's solid, and I'm pretty sure that I can't do a better job than the factory about getting that stuff. Then I got to see about, they got the wiring harness going through there, so I'll have to figure that out too. But yeah, here we go. And then I got to get this thing out, the bolts spinning. I got all the other ones out except for that one. I have to use some vice grips, I guess, get a hold of it up here so I can loosen it and get it out of there. But there you have it. We're continuing to make progress. Let me get this other side done, and then I'll have to go find my body saw so I can cut that sucker off. But look at that, we're getting there. Woo-hoo! If the rest of it wasn't so beat up, I'd be done almost. Just kidding. All right. So what I did is I cut a slot in the top of that the bolt, and then I used a screwdriver to hold it tight, and we got it off. A little ingenuity. Ouch, and that son of a bitch is hot. So, and it looks like I may have dodged
seems pretty solid. I don't see any holes through it, so praise the Lord and pass the ammunition. And that's another thing out of the way to get to the back of here and get to those particular, what are those called? I've been out in the sun too long. They're called spot welds. So anyways, as you can see, I sort of did drill all the way through, but I didn't mangle it too bad, and I can fix that. I'll get a hammer and a dolly. Same thing over here. I'll just get a hammer and dolly, straighten it all up, and then I will sand it and hit it with some weld through primer before I start putting all this back together. So but I'm getting it to where I want it to be so that I can pressure wash it tomorrow. I want to get all this crap out of the inside here. I'll probably take off a lot of this air conditioning stuff here now, all that, so I can do a good wash, a good scrub on these inner fenders. So yeah, just to make sure I'm you know, not missing any rust holes, and to prep it to last another, well, it looks like that's the original, so it lasted, what is that, 54 years? So praise the Lord and pass the ammunition. I don't think this is stock. So they put a flex fan on there, but oh well, I won't hold it against them. And there you go. All right. Well, I was editing this video and I figured out I didn't shoot a closing, so or I did and the battery was gone, or I didn't turn it on, or God only knows what. But as always, thank you for watching. I greatly appreciate it, and you know, stick around. If you like it, subscribe so you can see some more on this old car, because I can tell there's going to be a lot of content coming from it. So again, as always, thank you very much and have a great day.